So let's first look at the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They were written 40 to 100 years after Jesus' actual death. And none of the authors were actually eyewitnesses to Jesus' lifetime. Each text reflects its own community's theology. And by the 4th century, political powers sought to unify the Roman Empire. Emperor Constantine and later councils, they decided which writings would actually be scripture. And the chosen books, they supported the political and theological unity of the empire. So the actual Bible that we do have today was shaped more by institutional decisions than it was by Jesus's actual direct words. And let's go into some of the texts that were actually left out. The Gospel of Thomas, it was 114 sayings of Jesus. It emphasized the direct knowing of God. That was left out. One of the things that was said in there is the kingdom of heaven is within you and all around you. That was left out of the Bible. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene was also left out. It portrays her as a close disciple of Jesus. It speaks of inner vision and freedom of attachment. That was left out. The Gospel of Philip speaks of divine union. That was left out. The book of Enoch that talks about celestial realms and multidimensionality, that was left out of the Bible too. And so the question lies, why have these texts been left out of the Bible? Why did the institutional powers want the Bible to be something that they created rather than Jesus's actual words? Why would somebody want to do that? It feels like more, and this has been my own experience, is that in Christianity, people want you to live this way of life, and they will do anything to get you to try and live that way of life. And is that actually the way that Jesus walked throughout his life? If we look at the way that Jesus actually walked, the way that he actually taught, it wasn't trying to convince you to live a way of life. It was embodiment. It was the way in which he walked that allowed people to want to follow him. And it feels like the institutional powers took his words, construed them, and used them for their own best interests. It used them so that they could control. God is ever loving. God is in all things. God welcomes all. God does not cast you out if you have sinned in the way that Christianity does. So you choose whatever path that you desire. You choose to believe whatever you desire. This is just my personal opinion.